Hello friends, and welcome to Tea with Ree. And again, I have my pineapple electrolyte drink here today. A few videos ago, maybe one or two videos ago, I talked about how I'd been sick and got a part of myself back. And so we're going to talk about that today, and this might be a longer video. It's something that I've been dealing with my whole life, yet I'm not sure how to explain it. So I'll try, but it might sound a little confusing, so bear with me. It has to do with soul retrieval. For those of you who don't know what that is, soul retrieval is something that a shaman might do to journey with your animal guides or spirit animals or guardians to oops, the wind is blowing my stuff away, journey to get a piece of your soul back that may have left your side or through trauma or abuse or just for some reason left you. And that's what happened to me. A few pieces left me and I didn't realize it. However, I still had contact with some of those pieces and thought they were guides. Thought they were spirit guides. But the one that I just got back was Athena. I wrote an article on this, on connecting with her. If you look into the articles that I wrote on my website in the blog section about me, about Reverend Shree, you'll see an article in there. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it has Athena in the title. I talk about an experience I had where, well, the experience is unreal. You'd have to read it for yourself. It's really strange. It was very strange. But most recently, I was really sick, and I had one of the worst migraines. The end of it was a really bad migraine, but it started with chills and my body aches, and my nerve pain was really bad, and I also had like insane sneezing, like I was allergic to myself. And it wasn't COVID, it was not a response to allergies. It was just a very odd, like I thought maybe the new medication I was on was a reaction to that, and it was not. This was not a reaction to the medicine. But at the end of it, I had a full-blown migraine with all the worst things that come with the migraine, and we won't go into that because it's gross. So, but I felt like my head was going to explode. It was so bad. It was like right here, I had to put ice on my head, and I thought I was going to have a stroke or something. It was so bad. And I started praying, Father God, Mother God, Christ, help me. And then I started to feel Athena, and I knew she was a part of me. She wasn't my higher self or some separate entity that I thought she was. I understood that she was the part of me that hid the parts of me when I was younger. I still have parts of me. They're inside me, but they're younger, and they're quiet. It's not like, and I know some people might be thinking she has multiple personality disorder. That's not what it is. I'm completely aware of this energy, and I know exactly when it separated itself from me and the trauma that caused it. The first energy is 4 years old, and I actually wrote about this energy. It's Beautiful Little Child is the article, I think that's called. I wrote about this in a blog post too. but I was told at 4 years old that I was evil because I had blonde hair, and that my Native American ancestors would have murdered me, drowned me, most likely, because I had blonde hair, because I was born with jet black hair and cocoa skin. And by the time I was 2, I had blonde hair and white skin. And um, I understand why the person who told me this did this. This same person hurt me quite a bit in my life. And actually, before we go any further, I do want to say that part of the reason I changed my name to Ree is because I want to be able to be authentic and honest with who I am and what I'm speaking, because I want to be able to help people and be honest about what happened. And if I can't do that, then that's not going to help anybody. And so for those of you who do know my name or do know my family, please understand that I forgive them in a way, and I want you to understand that I don't want anyone to harm them or be mean to them on my behalf. They are who they are and did what they did because of the lives that they had. And it's the nature versus nurture controversy, and that's a whole nother thing. But basically, I just don't want people to be mean to them. So please don't. So back to what we were talking about. 1 second, please. So I have a 4-year-old self that lives inside of me. I have a 6-year-old self that lives inside of me. And I'm not 100% sure what created her. It could have been a couple of different things. I also have a 12-year-old self that lives inside of me. And I first saw her when I was talking on the phone to someone, and I don't know why she felt safe enough to come out. I was talking on the phone to somebody, and all of a sudden I'm having this vision of a teenage girl. Well, I think I know why she was 12, but so I'm having a vision of this teenage girl breaking out from behind a wall, and then after I got off the phone with this person, I see her standing there with bricks around her feet, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with you? I'm like, okay. But so many weird things have happened to me in my life. At that point, I'm just like, okay, just put it in the closet for later. I didn't know what to do with that. My journey has been very strange. When I was in 8th or 9th grade, I think it might have been 9th grade, I was going to commit suicide. And I instead woke up in the morning with this really strange dream of this woman with red hair and a white, looked like a dress, but I think it was like the shift or the underdress of a dress, and it was lightly singed, like she had been through fire or run through fire or something, and she had this blazing red hair. And in the dream, she saved me from what I was going to do and told me that I couldn't do that, that I had to survive so that I could help the children who were just like me. And in the dream, she told me that her name was Brigid, and I had no idea. She specifically said, remember that I'm Brigid, not Bridget. And I remembered because people mispronounce my name all the time, and I felt bad for her that people mispronounce her name. So I had compassion for her, and that's probably why I remembered it. So, it was just another thing I put in the closet for later, that was just weird things that I didn't talk about. Because also about that time that I had that weird dream, well, that weird dream was probably after this happened, but and the weird dream I had about Bridget or Bridget. No, I'm saying it wrong. Brigid, sorry. Sorry. So the next morning, I thought it was all a dream, but then my mom started yelling about things that were downstairs that I obviously left there. So it wasn't a dream. I was also known to sleepwalk at night, but anyway. So also during the same time period, my family was watching the news, and there was a news story about these two girls, and they had been kidnapped before getting on the bus. And I said, "Hey, Mom, I know where those girls are. I saw them get into a car with this guy." And she was on the phone with someone, and whoever it was, they were talking about whether or not they should call the police. And they were really talking about it, and I was getting scared because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to get in trouble with the police. And so I kept watching the news, and I knew the girls. I saw the girls, and I'm like, I know those girls. But they were talking about where they were from, and they were from another state. And I don't remember where, but my common sense kicked in, and I'm like, well, I must be mistaken. I couldn't have seen them this morning. I'm in Michigan. I was in Michigan. So I prayed to God not to let them call the police. My family was religious at the time. So they decided not to call the police. I prayed to God that, I'll never tell a lie again, because I figured I must be lying. What I now know is I saw them in my dream while I fell asleep on the bus that morning. I really did see those girls, and I feel awful that I probably could have helped them. Over the years, I've had dreams about horrible things that have happened. I had a dream about the tsunami that hit the Philippines. And when I woke up from that dream, I told my husband the horrible things that I saw, and I thought it was just a dream. And then we went to his parents' house and saw the news. And it was real. I saw the bodies of dead children in the same clothes they were in my dream. I saw the hotel with the white pillars and the palm trees. And I've dreamed of other things. I had a dream of a courthouse that was on fire, and I saw a woman with her face on fire, and I tried to tell the police officer on the street, but he couldn't see me, just like they couldn't see me in the Philippines, because I was obviously invisible, astral projecting or something. But then I saw it on the news, and it wasn't a fire, it was gunfire. And the person I saw with her face on fire was a judge. She was shot in the face. And in accepting Athena, I have to accept this part of myself. Because she's not inside me, she stands next to me. And the one I thought was Brigid, that was the woman that I thought she was the goddess. She stands beside me too. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand what it all means yet. But I know I'm different. And I know that some of my family thinks that what I am, who I am, is evil. And maybe that's why some of them can't love me. But my gifts worked differently than I thought they did. They were kind of they work in a different way. And I think the sadness in the world and everything that's going on, it makes my body sick. And maybe it's stupid to say that. Maybe some people will feel that I'm crazy, whatever. But I've been missing parts of myself for too long because I have to pretend that I'm normal. And I have to pretend that the religions of this world I don't even know what to say to that. I've tried to follow the religions of this world, and I did not find Christ there. That doesn't mean you can't. Everybody has their own path to follow. But it makes me upset for people to say the talking to my ancestors is evil. The finding messages in the ways I do is evil, demonic, whatever. It's the same kind of energy that sent hundreds of thousands of Romani to Nazi death camps. It's the same energy that told my Native American ancestors that they couldn't practice their faith, their religion. Religion, that's not even the right word for it. It's so sad to me that I am Native American, but don't have any understanding of that culture. It's so sad to me that I'm Romani and have no understanding of that culture. I'm trying on my own to understand. So I call upon my ancestors. I call upon the elements. I work with nature. And if people want to say that's evil, I don't care. Then it's not your path, and go somewhere else. This is who I am. And I find this path divine. I'm going to do my best to be who I'm meant to be and to work with the divinity in all things. And I think that's beautiful. I'm going to pull the pieces of me back to me as best I can. And I'm going to keep being the best version of myself as best I can. And I think I'm doing the right thing. So that's it. That's me. I'm Ree. And I hope you're blessed. Take care.